Okay there, let's talk about a piece of advice you've probably heard your whole life. You gotta share your goals. Well, today we're gonna dig into a really powerful idea that maybe, just maybe, that's the very thing holding you back.
So let me just ask you this straight up. What if the best way, the most effective way to actually achieve everything you want
Was to just keep them completely to yourself? I know, it sounds totally backward, right? We're always told to speak our dreams into existence. But what if that's actually terrible advice? We're about to dive into the science that shows why that might be the case.
All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk about the success sabotage trap. This is probably the #1 way people trip themselves up. And it's so subtle, most of us don't even see it happening.
And you know what's crazy? It has absolutely nothing to do with being lazy or not trying hard enough. You can be putting in all the effort, running as hard as you can, and still be going, well, nowhere.
It's not about lacking discipline, and it's definitely not because you don't have the talent or the brains for it. Nope. The real culprit is a lot simpler. It's because we talk too much. That's it. We announce our grand plans, we get that little pat on the back, and right there, in that moment, we basically leak all the fuel we needed to actually get the job done. So, what is going on here? I mean, this isn't just some vague self-help idea. There's real neuroscience that explains why shouting our intentions from the rooftops can be so incredibly damaging. Let's look at the science behind it. Okay, this right here is the heart of the whole problem. It's a concept called premature social reward. Think about it. You tell a friend, hey, I'm going to run a marathon. And they go, wow, that's incredible. What happens? Your brain gets a little hit of dopamine. It feels good. But here's the danger. Your brain can't really tell the difference between the pleasure you get from the announcement and the pleasure you'd get from the actual achievement.
This breaks it down perfectly. Look at the two paths here. On the left, you share your intentions. Boom, instant dopamine hit. Your mind basically checks the box, accomplishment complete, even though you haven't done a thing. And what happens to your motivation? It just plummets. You're acting like you're successful. Now compare that to the right side. You actually complete the actions first. The dopamine you get then is earned. That's not a performance. That's the real deal. You're actually building success.
Okay, so if talking about our goals is so bad for us, why is it so darn hard to just keep our mouths shut? Well, the answer goes way, way back. It's literally wired into our evolution. You got to remember, our nervous systems were built for survival in a tribe. And back then, being ignored, being misunderstood, or being cast out, that could literally mean death. So even today, we carry that deep, primal fear of being unseen. We feel this urge to explain ourselves, to get that validation early, because being invisible just feels dangerous.
And this is the danger zone right here. Every big project, every major goal has this long, quiet middle part where you're just grinding away and nobody sees the work. This is where most people quit. And it's not because the work is too hard. It's because nobody's clapping.
But what if we completely reframe this? What if that quiet, uncomfortable space isn't a weakness, but actually your greatest strategic advantage? Let's talk about how silence becomes your secret weapon.
I absolutely love this quote because it just nails it. Noise attracts opinions. Silence protects momentum. Think about that. The second you make noise about what you're doing, you invite everyone's 2 cents, their doubts, their fears, their unsolicited advice, maybe even their jealousy. But silence? Silence acts like a shield. It protects your focus. It protects your momentum. It saves your energy for the only thing that matters, the work itself.
And history is just full of examples. Take Albert Einstein. He wasn't out there giving TED Talks about his grand theories while he was still figuring them out. No, he was working quietly, as a patent clerk, in complete obscurity. The world only saw the game-changing breakthrough, not the silent, invisible years of effort that made it possible. And it's not just for geniuses in science. Look at an elite athlete like Kobe Bryant. The man was legendary for his insane private workouts at 4 a.m. when nobody was watching. The mastery, the thing that makes someone great, that happens in isolation. It's forged in the quiet, not in the applause.
Okay, so we get the why, that's great, but now let's get practical. How do you actually start using silence as a strategic tool in your own life? Here's a simple playbook to follow.
All right, here's the game plan. Step 1. Share results, not intentions. It's a huge shift. Results earn you respect, plans just invite opinions. Step 2. You've got to cut down on the need for social media validation. Deep, meaningful work requires uninterrupted time. You can't do that if you're constantly looking for likes. Step 3. Do the work when nobody is watching. That private discipline is what builds rock-solid public confidence. And finally, step 4, let your progress surprise people. That quiet, steady growth, man, when you finally reveal it, it creates so much more authority and impact.
Now, this is about way more than just a productivity hack. I want you to see the bigger picture here. When you adopt this mindset, it leads to the real prize, a fundamental shift in who you are, in your internal identity.
When you stop broadcasting every move, something incredible starts to happen. You slowly untangle yourself from needing everyone else's approval. You start finding your drive inside yourself, not from outside recognition. And you realize you never actually needed anyone's permission to begin with.
Because what you're really building here is self-trust. And let me tell you, self-trust is the ultimate power. When you truly trust your own path, other people's opinions just lose their hold on you. You become so much harder to distract, harder to manipulate, and frankly, almost impossible to stop. So here's the takeaway. Stop telling everyone what you're going to do. Just disappear for a little while. Go put in the work. Build quietly, build patiently. And then, when the time is right, you won't have to say a single word. Your success will do all the talking. Let your life make the announcement.